Every time I picked him up, he did the exact same thing. He reached out with one white paw and pressed it flat against the back of my hand. Not once, not sometimes, every single time, without exception. At first, I thought it was nothing, a reflex. Cats do strange things. But by the second week, I knew it wasn't nothing. There was something deliberate in the way he did it, something almost urgent, like he was trying to say a word he didn't have. But to understand why a stray Tuxedo cat kept pressing his paw against my hand like that, we have to go back to the night I found him, because what happened next would change everything I thought I understood about trust, and it would take almost 2 months before I finally understood what he had been trying to tell me the whole time. It was just past 10 at night when I heard it, a low, rough cry coming from underneath a parked car. I almost kept walking, cold and tired, telling myself it was probably nothing, but the sound didn't stop. It got sharper, more insistent, like whatever was making it had nothing left to lose. I crouched on the cold pavement and found him pressed against the underside of the car, soaked from the rain, one eye slightly swollen shut. Black and white fur, matted and thin. No collar, no microchip, the vet would later confirm. Just him, alone, shaking so hard his whole body trembled. I didn't think. I pulled off my jacket, wrapped him inside it, and carried him straight to the emergency clinic. The vet guessed he was about a year old, dehydrated, underweight, with an eye infection that needed treatment right away. But otherwise, she said, he was strong enough to survive if someone was willing to do the work. I looked down at the small, trembling shape in the towel. Okay, I said, I can do that. I had no idea what I was actually agreeing to. The first nights were hard. He wouldn't eat unless I sat close, unless he could see me. He flinched at every sound, the refrigerator humming, a car passing outside, my own footsteps. He found the gap behind the bookshelf and stayed there for hours, watching the room like it might turn on him. I named him Oreo for the black and white pattern splitting his face down the middle. But what happened over the following weeks would change everything I thought I understood about him. By the second week, something started happening whenever I picked him up to carry him to his food bowl. One white paw would lift and press flat against the back of my hand, slow, deliberate, like he was placing it exactly where he wanted it to be. I assumed it was instinct at first, some leftover kitten behavior, but Oreo wasn't a kitten, and he never stopped doing it, even months later, long after the fear had started to fade from his eyes. Every single time. Holding him on the couch, press. Carrying him to the vet for his checkup, press. The first time I opened the door to the balcony and he stepped out into the sunlight for what might have been the first time in his life, he stopped, looked up at me, and pressed his paw against my hand before he took another step. A friend visiting one afternoon watched it happen and asked, half joking, if I had trained him to do that. I laughed it off, not yet understanding how much I still had to learn. Because it wasn't only the paw. Slowly, other things changed too. He began following me from room to room, close enough to keep me in sight, never close enough to be underfoot. He started sleeping at the foot of the bed instead of behind the bookshelf. Some mornings, I'd find him upright on the windowsill watching the street the way he used to watch it from underneath that car, except now his ears were relaxed. He learned the sound of my keys in the door, and somehow always knew which mornings meant I was leaving for the whole day. On those mornings, he pressed his paw a little longer before I set him down. I didn't notice the pattern at first. Later, I couldn't unsee it. Hey, if you've made it this far, you clearly care about stories like this one. I genuinely love for you to stick around for more of them. Hit that subscribe button right now. It means more than you know, and honestly, it would make my whole day. By week 5, I had started telling myself this was temporary. I worked long hours and traveled for my job more than I should. A cat like Oreo, I told myself, deserved someone steadier, someone home every evening without fail. I scheduled a call with a local rescue group about transferring him into their adoption program. I told myself it was the responsible thing to do. I almost believed it. Then, on a Wednesday night, everything fell apart in the quietest way possible. Oreo wouldn't settle. He climbed onto my chest at midnight, then again near 2 in the morning, then once more just before dawn. Each time, that same white paw pressed against my hand, held there longer than usual, his eyes fixed on mine like he was asking me something he needed an answer to. I lay awake in the dark, his paw resting against my palm, and thought about the car, the rain, how small and still he had been that first night. I thought about every single time since then that he had reached for me, never for food, never for play, only ever for my hand. I thought about the rescue coordinator's voice on the phone, kind and professional, already talking about foster homes, ready to find him a perfectly good family with perfectly good people. I thought about how none of them would ever know about 2 in the morning, or the sound he made under that car, or the way his body had gone still against my chest that first night, like he didn't quite believe it was real. None of them would know what one white paw pressed against a hand meant. I did. I had known for weeks, if I was honest, and had just been too afraid to admit it. What he had been trying to tell me the whole time suddenly felt impossible to ignore. At 6 that morning, I called the rescue coordinator and canceled the transfer. I think I already found his home, I told her. She was quiet for a moment, and then she laughed softly. I had a feeling you might say that. From that morning on, the decision never felt uncertain again. Oreo is almost 2 years old now, 12 pounds of black and white confidence, who has claimed the armchair as his throne. He meets me at the door every evening, tail up, already certain of his welcome. Some nights I catch myself talking to him like he understands every word. Honestly, I think he does. He still does it. Every single time I lift him, every single time I carry him from one room to another, that same white paw finds my hand and presses down. Deliberate, certain, exactly the way it did on that very first cold night under a stranger's car. A vet I spoke with later explained that some cats who survive hardship alone develop small, private rituals with the person who finally keeps them safe, a way of saying, without words, "You are safe, you are mine, you are home." It was never an accident. It was never just instinct. It was Oreo's way of telling me every day since that rainy night that he had already chosen me long before I made the call. Some animals show love loudly. Oreo shows his with one white paw pressed quietly against my hand, refusing to let go when it mattered most. If this story meant something to you, share it with someone who needs a little hope today. Some stories are too good to keep to yourself. Do you think animals choose us on purpose, or is it something simpler than that? Tell me what you think in the comments.